Hello everyone. In this video, we will construct a new robot called Digger. Let's see step 1 for Digger. We take two C plates and connect it with one rectangular plate using one flat connector and two nut bolts at each end. One here, one here, one here, one here. So flat connector and two nut bolts at each end. Then we connect one flat rotator using one 0.5 inch bolt and nut. If you see here, it is connected in a slanted fashion. And similarly, we have connected one more on the other side. Here as well, we have connected one flat rotator using 1.5 inch bolt and nut. And similarly, it is connected on the other side as well. Let's go to step 2. Here, we are connecting a DC motor along with the motor shaft and placing one spacer onto the motor shaft. We are also putting one big axle through these holes which we had created in last step using the flat rotators. Now this is the rear side in step 1. Right now it is showing as the front side for step 2. And here also we connect one big axle and put a spacer this side, and we put 3 spacers on this side. You'll understand why we are putting 3 spacers on this side as we go ahead. Let's go to step 3. In step 3, we are connecting one big gear onto this axle. And then after the big gear, we are placing one more spacer. Now, if you see from the C plate, we have one spacer. Here is the second spacer, and the width of the gear is also same as the spacer. So if we see from the flat surface of the C plate, we are now 3 spacers away. And that's why we put 3 spacers on this side. We are also connecting one medium gear onto the motor shaft and locking it with a shaft lock. We are putting one spacer on both sides here as well as here. Let's go to step 4. In step 4, now we are inserting a wheel onto the axle and locking it with a shaft lock on all the 4 sides. That makes the base of our digger. Now onto this, we are going to mount the digging assembly. Let's go to step 5. This is our digging assembly. We use one single bar and connect it to one square plate using one L connector and 2 nut bolts. See the direction of the bolt. And in front, we are connecting one L connector and one flat connector using 2 nuts and bolts. One here, one more here, and one more here. So total 3 flat connectors are connected to the square plate using 3 L connectors. And everywhere we have 2 nuts and bolts. We'll call this assembly A. We'll move to step 6 now. In step 6, we are using one gear, big gear, and connecting to it a single bar. When we connect the single bar to the gear, below this single bar and above this gear, so in between the gear and the single bar, is 2 shaft locks. They are sandwiched between this single bar and gear. Why we put them? If we don't put them, when we tighten these nuts here, the single bar gets bent. And if we put it here, the single bar will remain straight. Here we have connected one nut bolt, here one nut bolt. On the front side of the single bar, we have connected a flat rotator using one nut bolt so that one hole is available for us. We'll call this assembly B. In step 7, we are connecting assembly A with assembly B using one 0.5 inch bolt and nut here, and that is loosely coupled so that A and B can swivel around it. Let's go to step 8. In step 8, we will use one L plate as a mast and we'll connect it to our base, that is the base vehicle, using 2 0.5 inch bolts and nuts here. We'll also connect one DC motor with motor shaft onto the L plate and insert one spacer onto the motor shaft. Also, we'll create one more hole using a flat rotator and a 0.5-inch bolt and nut. And through that vacant hole, we are going to insert one small axle, lock it from behind, and put one spacer in front onto the axle. In step 9, we will connect one medium gear onto the motor shaft and lock it with the shaft lock. And then the assembly which we created in 7th step, we are going to insert it on the axle here and lock it with the shaft lock. That completes our digger. The digger can move using this motor front and back, and it will lower this digging arm using this combination of these two gears and the motor. Make the digger, operate it, and do write your comments in the comment section below. Happy making!